The faded file lay sprawled across the table, its edges worn from time and neglect. Thomas Wilcox, a retired investigator with a penchant for the peculiar, had gathered dust for nearly a year, resigned to the languid pace of quiet evenings and fading memories. Yet the case of the Holloway estate, marked urgent by red ink and yellowing pages, still beckoned. As Thomas reached for the file, the atmosphere shifted, the familiar scent of musty paper mingling with something sharper, almost acrid. He glanced around his dim sitting room. The air felt colder. A shiver crept down his spine as he opened the file, its brittle pages crackling like dry twigs underfoot. The Holloway estate had been a seemingly simple case, reports of eerie sounds, odd shadows flitting through the corner of one's eye. But one detail lingered in his mind, an unsettling note about a room never entered, forever locked, murmured about in hushed tones. He flipped the pages, where the handwritten notes grew frantic. Descriptions of a child's laughter echoing at odd hours, dark stains on the floorboards, and the unmistakable aroma of wet earth flooded his senses, pulling him into memories he tried to forget. Thomas felt a heaviness sink into the pit of his stomach as he prepared to revisit the estate. Gathering a flashlight and long-abandoned tools, he stepped outside. The cool night air, once nostalgic, now felt biting against his skin, a sharp reminder of something long dead. Approaching the Holloway estate, the night seemed to shift. The moon hung high, casting a silvery veil over the crumbling edifice. A distant hoot of an owl was the only sound, yet the silence weighed heavy, oppressive. The old door creaked as he pushed it open, a protest in the form of grinding wood against worn hinges. Inside, the air grew thicker as he wandered down the familiar hallways, nostalgia flooding his senses, igniting memories painted with the patina of fear. Old photographs lined the walls, their subjects' smiles now warped, the laughter held captive in forgotten corners. Each step echoed, a reminder of the specters that haunted this place, shadows moving just outside the periphery of his vision. He paused, breath fogging in the stale air, a sensation that shouldn't have been there. It chilled him more than the night. Then he heard it, a soft giggle, innocent yet sinister, like a child's mischief dancing just beyond the heavy silence. The noise came from a room with a door meant to be locked, so why was it ajar? Thomas hesitated, heart pounding in his chest like the rapid drums of an unseen ritual. The threshold loomed, each lingering moment in the stillness unwound like slow, thick syrup, a taste of dread spilling onto his senses. He stepped closer, a sense of wrongness tightening around him like a vice. Inside, the darkness felt alive, casting odd shadows that twisted and writhed in the corners of his vision. At the center of the room stood a single wooden toy chest, pristine and out of place in the decay surrounding it. It was locked. Ornate brass hinges glimmered in the flashlight's beam. The air thickened, the sweet scent of rot undercutting the sweetness of childhood innocence, whispering secrets he dared not ponder. The giggle rose again, rippling the very air itself. The light flickered and caught something moving at the edges of the room. A fleeting shadow under the closed door, then stillness returned, heavy and oppressive. The weight of the unsolved mystery pressed against him. He reached for the chest, fingers trembling, heart racing wildly. What lay inside was a question he did not want to answer. Suddenly the air shifted, growing colder, the laughter now a cacophony of childlike glee, echoing against the walls. Thomas felt the world around him stretch and twist into a nightmare, a reality writhing with implications he could not fathom. The sensation overwhelmed him, and before he could draw a breath, the chest clicked open, releasing a wave of icy air. In that moment, he understood. The Holloway estate had been a prison, and the secrets within it were far from benign. Almost instinctively he stepped back, heart racing, as the ghastly diggle morphed into a strange whisper echoing through walls, each syllable a curse fraying at the edges of sanity. Then he fled, the laughter reverberating in the vast, empty space, hounding him down the hallway. At the door he turned once more, casting one desperate look over his shoulder at the shadows writhing in the depths of the old estate. The Holloway case, forever unresolved, now dripped with the knowledge of what had been unleashed, a curse never bound by his previous findings. As he stepped back into the night, he was left with a single thought, the eternally haunting giggle etched into his mind. Sometimes, some doors are best left closed. Thomas Wilcox would never speak of the Holloway estate again,